We got Tomb of Terror, number 15, another exploding face. This is one of the other most graphic pre-code horror books. Who wouldn't want this? If you don't get this softcore porno Ninja Turtles inter-office joke book, maybe you'll want to get Tomb of Terror 15 with the eyeball popping out of the exploding face. If I failed to get through all these auction previews in 3 videos and had to do a 4th, then this is the 4th video and hopefully final in the ComicLink fall auction preview series that I'm doing. It's a 3-night auction, so I should be able to pack it into 3 preview videos. But if I went on too long, and I know I went on long, then I may have to do a 4th one. I'm trying to keep these videos down under 20 minutes long. If I had to do a 4th one, then this is the 4th one that's about to start. Here we go. Marvel Superheroes, King Size Special. I think these are reprints. Adam Warlock here. No, nothing I want to dwell on. New Mutants, 87 and 98. I don't care. Pep Comics. Pep Comics, number 1 and 6.5. I look at the shield and I just think, man, that looks uncomfortable. I see some chafing. I see some really unpleasant situations you'd get in wearing that shield on your chest, especially if you drop something and have to pick it up. You don't want to deal with the shield. This is the first appearance of the shield from 1940, 6.5. Very rare book. Of course, Pep Comics 22 is the one people fuss over because that's the first appearance of Archie, but this is number 1, which you don't see very often. I don't know that I've ever seen it before. Fair market value $9,500. Not super valuable. Bidding at $2,000. We got Pep Comics 3, 5. I like the cover of 34. There's just so much going on. I barely even noticed the swastika on his hat. Phantom Lady, Matt Baker cover. And we got Plastic Man number 1 in 9.0. I don't know what the NN means. It probably stands for no number. Plastic Man, no number. But effectively number 1, 9.0. Bidding is $5,100. So this is this the first appearance of Plastic Man? It says first appearance. Fair market's $14,500. There's only 3 copies and 2 copies at 9.2. This is a rare book. I don't think there's a lot of big Plastic Man fans out there. I don't think there's a lot of speculation on Plastic Man movies coming down the pike. Jack Cole, story, cover, and art. One guy did the whole thing. Then you got Plastic Man 13. You got the first Playboy. Shock Suspense Stories number 6 in 9.4. Off-white to white pages. I didn't talk about this last time I saw this book going up for auction. The Ku Klux Klan, or some group of people who look an awful lot like the Ku Klux Klan, are burning a woman to death, probably on hot coals. It's just always seemed kind of odd to me that she's white. Probably just couldn't go there. Even EC wasn't going to push it that far. So it's weird as a result. I mean, you see these guys in the hoods, you think one thing, right? This is racial. Anyway, it's a high-grade copy. It's a Wally Wood cover. 9.4. Only 6 copies, last sale in 2017 for $52.50. I do think they had some high-grade sales in ComicLink recently that don't get reported. I think this book should go for more than that. It's bidding at $71.50. Yeah, it's probably going to go in the tens of thousands. This is a 9.4 copy. Holy crap, there's 2 9.9 copies. Are you kidding me? This isn't even a pedigree. This isn't a Gaines file copy. It's a 9.9. Oh no, it is a Gaines file copy, but it's not got a pedigree label. 9.9 mint. How about that? And that's 1 of 2. Fair market for 9.0 is $72.50, so the 9.4 should be $15,000 to $20,000, and I bet it'll get there. Then right next to it, you got showcase number 4, the first Silver Age comic. We got a 9.0 and a 3.0. 9.0 off-white, 3.0 creamed off-white, $96,000. There's only 3 9.0s, 5 books in higher grade, $96,000. There's only been 2 sales. Let's see. The last sale was last year on Heritage, sold for $96,000. I wonder... This couldn't be that copy. No, it's a different label. 11591. No, it's a different copy. 96,000, and the bidding on this is 71,000. So it'll get up there. Yeah, this is the first Silver Age Flash, but it's the first Silver Age superhero. This is September of 56. Doesn't just have the comics code in the upper right. It's got a big old Comics Code label. They wanted to make sure everybody knew this issue was approved by the brand new Comics Code, and it's fairly scarce. It's from 19. It's only 469 graded. It's not got the population of a Silver Age book. It's got the population of a Golden Age book. You see thousands of copies of Silver Age books, but there's only 469, and this is one of the highest. So It's going to go for a lot, 96,000. And look at this, 9.6 copies sold for $900,000. Surely on Heritage, yeah. It sold in 2009 for 180, and then it sold in 2024, early last year for $900,000. Of course, that's what Heritage does. I think there's a good chance we're going to see this go for 96. Pretty good chance we'll see it go in the six figures. The 3.0, not so much. The 3.0, especially with the 9.0 providing cover, you might get a good price on this 3.0, 11,500, and it's currently bidding at 4,500. Yeah, it's a big downgrade. It's got a piece missing in the bottom right corner. It's heavily faded. It is definitely a 3.0 copy. Then right after that, you got Showcase 22 with the first Silver Age Green Lantern, the sci-fi spacefaring Green Lantern. It was a serious reimagining of this character. Kind of a completely different character, really. For some reason, they decided that the Green Lantern wore a ring. You don't really think about that very much. It's not a lantern. It's a ring. He should be called the Green Ring. 6.0, $2,600. Silver Surfer number 1, 9.4, going for $1,800. That's nice to see. There were those 9.8 sales at 130,000, and I would like to see this book selling for a lot lower. Silver Surfer number 4, I believe, is a much better cover than number 1. I've talked about this, 2,500. This 9.4 is bidding higher than the number 1. I think issue 4 should be more valuable at all grades than issue 1 because it's just a better cover. Did Spy Smasher kill Hitler? Did he? I don't think he did. 4 sensational, exciting Spy Smasher adventures. Then we got, oh, Jesus, always gets startling comics. Whew, I'm never quite ready for it. It always hits me. Startling Comics just jumps out of nowhere, scares the hell out of me. Startling Terror Tales. There's that awful Startling Terror number 11 with the spider cover. Gives me the but fortunately it's not in this auction, so I don't have to look at it. This is J.B. Cole. I just learned about J.B. Cole from the comments. Somebody was talking about him. One of the Golden Age pre-code horror artists. Very unique covers. Got a couple of them right here. Strange Tales. Only one copy of Strange Tales 110. First Doctor Strange. It's an 8.0. I got my 4.5 right here. This is going at $4,100. It's not much of a key these days. I feel like the interest has really waned off Doctor Strange. And of course, he's not on the cover of this. The heat has come off of this. It was a much more popular book probably 10 years ago than it is now. Fair market $7,500. And this is going at $4,100. 2021. Peak when everything was high, 15,600. Now it's down below half that. Last sale was 6,300, and I'll bet you this sells for in the 6,000 to 7,000 range. Submariner Comics number 1, first dedicated Submariner issue, spring of 1941. The Alex Schomburg cover, 25,000 fair market, bidding at 6,400. That is not good news. That's much lower than the fair market. Population's 155. 155. Why do I see this so often if there are only 155 copies? I guess it's just the owners are selling it. Superman number 2. We just watched Superman number 1 sell for $9 million. Superman number 2. Very different situation. It's 6.0 restored, B2 restoration. I don't like the cover as much. I like the cover for 3 better, for 4 better. Course, for 1, the layout of this is less appealing, but it's Superman 2 and it's bidding at $2,800. Man, restored books take such a hit. Superman number 5, it's got Lex Luthor in it. I like this cover better too. We've got an 8.0. I like this cover. I just think it's funny because Superman's swimming. When do you ever see Superman swimming? The guy can fly. Why would he swim? These Nazis in the submarine are freaked out because here comes Superman doing the crawl. We got Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 70, first Silver Age Catwoman. Covered this one heavily in the last auction closing because it was selling at 9.8 and it sold for $14,000. Here's a 9.6 white pages. I don't think it's going to go for anywhere near that $14,000. I don't know why that book went for $14,000. If this goes for half that price, I will be stunned. It's got Super Pussycat in it. I guess she took a hiatus for a while. We hadn't seen her in a while, but why is this book going for so much? Then we go right into Tales from the Crypt. I think these are great investment books. You can't do much better than this. It's one of those covers that isn't actually graphic, but if you use your imagination and fast forward the clock 2 seconds, it is extremely graphic. This woman's about to get her head stomped by an elephant, and this is a 9.6 copy, currently bidding at $1,300. We got a 9.0 of Enoch and the Mummy. This is the origin of the Crypt Keeper. Spoiler alert. Tales of Suspense, the first Iron Man, 8.0, 7.0, and 6.5. This 8.0... the quotation marks are completely cut off on the right side of the page after the exclamation point. This one you can sort of see a little bit of the quotation mark. It's clipped. This one you can't see any. It's completely clipped. In fact, some of the exclamation point is clipped. My copy is sort of like that 7.0. The exclamation point isn't clipped, but you can't see any of the quotation marks. 3 copies, so this is a good auction to get your copy of the first Iron Man if you're hunting for one, because you got a bunch at similar grades. You don't see this very often. Tales to Astonish 13, first Groot in 6.0. This is a relatively high grade copy of this book. Of course, you could have gotten this book for nothing 15 years ago before anybody knew who Groot was. This is a new key, but it's a 1960 book. It's from before the Marvel Silver Age began. It's from before Fantastic Four #1. Everybody who had copies of this book in their short boxes dug it out and got it graded. So there's now 32 graded at 6.0, and the fair market's $3,600. This one's going for $3,000. So yeah, this will hit fair market. And it's Groot. Everybody loves Groot. And then we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Some people know how to tell first printing TMNT one from second printing. I looked it up, and as far as I can tell, there's no way on the cover to distinguish them. It's on the inside front cover that it says second printing. The third printing actually says it on the cover, which I don't see here. So I don't know if this is first or second printing. It doesn't say on the label, so I gotta assume it's first printing. It's a 9.2, and the bidding's at $11,000, so it's gotta be the first printing. And then we got Tick. For Tick fans, this is from 1988. It's one of 50 copies that were printed of the Tick Ashcan Edition. I love the Tick. I love the cartoon on Fox in the 90s, but I never read the comic. I'm not familiar with this Ashcan Edition or what it is. It's a hilarious show if you've ever watched it. The live action show is pretty funny too. Going for $1,750 in 9.4 signed white pages. Of course, signed by Stan Lee. Just kidding. It's not signed by Stan Lee. It's signed by probably Ben Edlund. I mean, who else would have signed it? If you'd put this in front of Stan Lee, he would have signed it. Thrilling Comics. Always thrilled by Thrilling Comics. Here we got Hitler sleeping in his bed with Nazi bed sheets. That's adorable. The American troops are coming in, catching Hitler in his sleep, tying him up, and shooting him with a Tommy gun in the face. Hitler's having a bad time there. In April of 1944, I do think he was having a pretty bad time by that point. Who's hiding under the bed? There's so much going on here, and there's a little mouse right next to the guy hiding under the bed. Who drew this? Is this Schomburg? Yep, Schomburg cover. Oh, and we got our racist depiction here, so there's that. Took me a while to notice it, though, because there's so many other things happening here. More Thrilling Comics. I'm kind of becoming a fan of Thrilling Comics. Is somebody shooting a monkey? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Birds and the Bees. Ross at ComicLink gave me a heads up on this one. I would have just scrolled by it. I wouldn't have noticed it. This is extremely rare. They only made 50 copies. It says Archie Adventure Series, but it was not for distribution. This was not sold. It sounds like this was an office joke. It's raunchy. At this point, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was 1993. This was a popular kids show. It was no longer the gritty mid-80s Ninja Turtles. They made what looks like sort of a Frank Frazetta, Conan the Barbarian, scantily clad, heroic cover. I have no idea what's going on the inside, but it's pretty Ralph Bakshi-ish. It's pretty R-rated. I might even have to blur this out a little bit. It's a 9.8 white pages of a book that if you're a Turtles fan, you're not going to see this in any other auction. It's bidding at $707. Most people just don't know what this is. It's a great Christmas gift for your loved one who likes semi-porno Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. First Blade, Tomb of Dracula, number 10, 9.8, 9.6. You see these a lot. It's been going down. Actually got the 9.6 bidding for higher than the 9.8 because this is white pages. This is off white to white. We'll see what happens when it closes. We got Tomb of Terror, number 15. Another exploding face. This is one of the other most graphic pre-code horror books. And again, this is May of 1954. I think that other melting face on Black Cat was June of 1954. This one's only a 4.5. It's not like the 9.0 pedigree that we saw with the Black Cat. It's very similar cover. Bidding's at $3,600. Who wouldn't want this? If you don't get this softcore porno Ninja Turtles inter-office joke book, maybe you'll want to get Tomb of Terror 15 with the eyeball popping out of the exploding face. Then we got Ultimate Fallout, number 4 variant cover, which goes for outrageous amounts of money. Of course, it's 9.8 white pages, bidding at $6,000. I think this sold for either $40,000 or $80,000 a couple years ago. We'll see if that happens again. Hopefully we're through with that. $6,000 seems a bit more sensible. We got this Venom #1, misprint, black cover, printing error. This is not what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be kind of a reflective, holographic, purplish background, but instead on this one it's black. So this is gonna go for a whole lot. 9.8 white pages, maybe one of a kind. I don't know how many misprints there were of this. This is going for $2,800. I think a 9.8 of Venom one's like $100 normally, but with this misprint, it's a whole lot more. There's one weird fantasy and 2 weird sciences in this one. We got 1 pedigree of a Wally Wood cover. First, Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, #32. We got a 9.6 and a 9.2. Not going for much anymore. This is actually one of the big books in the whole auction. Whiz Comics, #1, technically #2, but it's the first issue. Somehow, I don't know how that worked. This is the first Captain Marvel by Fawcett Comics. They, of course, got sued by DC for ripping off Superman, and DC won, and I think eventually they got the rights to Captain Marvel. He became a DC character. I hope I got that story right. And this is actually a split auction. We got 2 copies. The first appearance of Captain Marvel, 1 in 3.0 unrestored and 1 in 4.5 moderate professional restored. So this one's obviously going to go for a whole lot more. It's got some pencil on the cover. That looks like you could just get rid of that with an eraser. It's surprising that nobody bothered with such an important comic. The bidding's at $26,000 and then the restored copy's going for $6,400. We got a whole bunch more Whiz Comics here. I'm not going to spend time on them. Here it is, X-Men 1, 3 copies at auction. So the bid's split on this. We got a 7.0, a 6.0, and a 5.0. The 7.0 is off white to white. Looks very nice. The 6.0 is got the Stanley signature, off white to white, right there in the middle. And the 5.0 is cream to off white. Very faded, heavy tanning on this cover. 7.0 is a fair market of $22,000. Bidding's at $12,400. Prices have gone down on this one. I've been watching this book. I want to get a copy. This is a nice copy. I like this one. Don't so much like this one. This one looks good, but is heavily tanned. The cover is in good shape aside from the tanning. The 6.0 for a regular unsigned unrestored, $16,500. This one's bidding at $3,100. Other folks are like me and are not crazy about the signature. 5.0, that's very low. Fair market's $10,500. This is going for $2,500. I'm guessing most buyers are not interested in this one because of the heavily faded cover. It's a prized book. Everybody wants a copy, but it has gone down lately, and I think it's got a bright future. So I think this is a really good one to look at. Then we got X-Men 3, X-Men 4. This is another good one. There aren't a lot of early X-Men issues that are keys. You've really just got 1, 4, 12. 4's first Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. 12's the first Juggernaut. Couple others in the pre-Chris Claremont X-Men. Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You also got Toad and who's that guy? The other guy. The guy with the cloak who can turn into other people. Chris Claremont used him a lot in the Dark Phoenix saga with the Hellfire Club. And then we got 12 here, and 9.0 is a really nice copy of issue 12, but it's off white to white. And there's just one more I want to look at because I haven't seen a lot of 9.9s in this auction, and here's one. First Gambit. Arguably the first Gambit. Some people like to say X-Men Annual 10 is the first Gambit, but this is the first cover appearance of Gambit and the first regular series run of X-Men Gambit, and it's a 9.9. Some interest in Gambit with him showing up in the movies. He's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. It's $3,700. The 9.9s in the last summer featured auction just went for off the charts prices, so I would not be surprised at the last second to see this shoot up to something crazy. $7,000, $10,000. We'll see. And that's really it for this auction. We got some Young Allies, Zip Comics, and then we get into the next auction round. All right, I got 3 hours of me talking. My voice is gone. I got to edit this down into something watchable because you do not want to spend 3 hours listening to me talk. But I'm going to try and make this a little more compact and compelling for you. And that's going to take me a long time, but I will try and get it up before the auctions close so people have a chance to watch it and see if there's any books they're interested in. And then I'm going to cover it. Next week, I will be back here again going through all these books. I'm a little more familiar with them now, having gone through it, and we'll watch these books close. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.